What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another OneHive War Recap video where we randomly matched 6 Schlitzes. Schlitzes. Just give me whatever's free at the bar. I never say it right. Schlitzes is what I'm going to say. Whatever. 113 to 107. It was not a fair fight. We had 2 extra Town Hall 11s. I believe we had 2 extra Town Hall 10s as well. So, and I do believe this was definitely a lot of some practicing going on, and it should, it should, in my opinion. So, one thing I want to call attention to for 6 Schlitzes is they're 11 on 11 3 on Eve check. Nice job. I mean, they also doubled the rest of the Town Hall 11s, and I think they had a few 10 on 10 threes. Let's see here. These are all dips. I think that's one. Yep, that's definitely one. 2? They had 2 10 on 10, 10 on 10, no 8, 3. 3 10 on 10 threes. And then, of course, the rest of the 9s are cleared. And then for OneHive, all the 11s were cleared. We left 1, 2, 3 Town Hall 10s cleared, but again, we had 2 extra 11s. And there was 2 Town Hall 10v10 threes. So let's go ahead and start with what those are. Down here we have Fergie using Vabolalo or a Valalo. I believe it's a Valalo. I think he has max. I think he has a max hound in the CC. Minions up top unguarded by this. Free percentage given away up top, basically, and both of the attacks did go down to the. Well, I don't know about this one. I know the other one that for sure went down to the last few seconds. I watched this one live going, so I can't really recall if it was fighting the clock or not. At any rate, the minions up top was really smart to help with that time because you do usually chase the clock on these threes. In a lot of cases. But this was a nice attack. Doing a queen walk, getting all this right side. Finally, that minion up top, for time's sake, is taken down, but not before it got away. 2 trash buildings and a high hit point storage, reinforced with another minion up top there for that hut. Hound Loon comes out, dealt with a late rage, and then really this minion right here, as we zoom in, really helps take away some of the irritation that those pups come. It's a really nice technique that I've never known about until I came to OneHive and seen other people use it as well. Really awesome techniques. In fact, I'm going to show you another technique I learned just by watching these guys do their 10 on 10 threes in the other replay. So Queen Walk coming in here really late, shallow jump to basically bridge the IT compartment, as well as gets the Queen to keep going as she pops the ability here and gets so much value by taking away that entire core side Wizard Tower, heading towards the last air defense here. As you see the Lalo starting on the bottom, the 2 hounds, and then like 14 loons or so. Just the rage placement on this was so nice. As you see that this... those loons up top are being irritated by them Larrys that are petting the loons. And then finally the last hound pops. But there's so many loons up at the end. Plus there's now a BK walk going on. So they converge upon the last air defense, and now they're home free. Now it's nothing but time. And they're going to fly all the way to the top to get that mortar. And now that this is coming to me, this did come down to like the last 5 or 6 seconds. This BK right here is what the situation was. The BK was trolling some of the minions, and then after the BK goes down, you still got the altar to take down as well. So it's really not so much about the BK; it's more so about the BK trolling your cleanup troops, preventing them from taking down the altar. So this, I believe, I'm going to hit replay one more time just so we can see the time, because I believe this was going down to the last seconds. Yep. There was at least like 5 or so seconds left on the clock. It was really close. Nice job, Fergie. Let's go to Chris. This one, wow, that's just my morning. 5 Valkyries, 30 Loons, 6 Haste. And the other technique that I saw in here that I've learned that I have yet to have to utilize, but I never would have thought to do this. And I've seen this. I've seen this done before in prior wars, and I just never really called attention to it. But whenever you have a hound in the CC, and you're doing a loon attack, which is probably the most common attack that we see on 10-on-10s now, is you can drag the hound to the corner, but not because you want to do a healer archer swap, because then that just equates to more troop space to occupy the hound. Because before you drag the hound out, you take care of the critical things that you need to take care of with your kill squad push, which is what we're watching here. Valks getting the queen, air defense, leaving the infernal tower up, and the BK. So now the CC's out, hound loon's out. You're not trying to bring it down. You basically drag it way to the far left. You see there's a archer over here on the hut. I'm gonna stay zoomed out. And then it basically brings the hound loon way off to the corner. He'll do it again. He'll drop another archer to drag it as far to the corner as possible. Not to basically occupy it with the healer archer trick, but to keep it out of the equation of the map for cleanup reasons. So that when your hounds bust, and you're going to see some of this happen here, which is why I'm staying out. Really nice Lalo going on here with so many freaking loons. But when the hounds bust and your cleanup troops are down, you got your minions and your lava pups, you don't want them to stop taking away trash buildings and then stay on the hound or loon. So he brings the hound way to the far left corner. It will stay there forever until you pop it or put down a ground troop. And because he has nothing but air troops going on with cleanup minions, not wizards, and cleanup lava pups, you don't have anything to worry about. He does see that this loon, as we come down on the bottom here, they're going to finish off that town hall with those pack of loons there. But he does realize that he's going to have to get started on at least the loon on the far left. As we zoom in just a little bit, you can see it. As he has scarce cleanup troops behind him, only because he went loon heavy and not bringing an extra hound for popping and then cleanup with the 12 pups that come out, or 14 for a level. I think it's 12 for a level 3. But he had to get rid of that loon, or else these few pups that he have would have stayed on that loon to bring it down and not take down trash buildings. So really smart decision of timing to do that, and I really like that trick where you can, I think Atoma does it quite often as well, and in ASAP Aussie. I just really thought, I think ASAP Aussie is the one that I saw do it first a couple of months back. That made me open up my eye like, man, that's so clever. Really nice 10-on-10s. Let's back out of here. And then let's go down a little bit. I wanted to show Don John. This, I don't know what this army is called. I don't know if there's like an attack strategy out there with it. It's basically a queen walk goho, or hobo is what it is. But instead of doing the shattered hobo that most people do, in fact, that is what it is. It's a queen walk shattered hobo, right? But instead of bringing 2 golems, you sub 1 golem and you bring 2 witches. Don John's the only... I haven't seen anybody else but Don John routinely and regularly do this as we go to times 2. It's a little bit of a long walk. And then once he opens up, we'll slow down right here and zoom in. So that baby dragon doing the fun on the bottom. But I haven't seen anybody but Don John regularly do this. And he does it really, really nice. And I think obviously everything's base specific. But I really like... the utility of these witches over a second golem. In all the replays I watch Don John do this attack, his witches usually are still up. And witches have a soft spot in my heart because before the update of dark spells, DE, I call them black spells, that's funny. But before the introduction of dark spells, witches were, and before the witches got nerfed to the ground, witches were like a automatic troop in the CC for Town Hall 9. It was about as often as you saw in there as bowlers. And you don't see them too often anymore. They're starting to come back because of the tweaks that Supercell did to them, and I really like that. But in this situation right here, we have max witches that are saving up a lot of the time so that when his hog army finishes, he doesn't have that much to run around the base and clean up with. And it seems to be a lot more forgiving. You know, the Larrys don't trip over bombs, but they still distract defenses, so they still help out a hog army. And I just really like the way that he uses this. I myself have been trying to practice with this to understand the pros and cons with it that go with it as well. So I really like this attack. I had to put it on. Nice job, Don John. Let's bounce out of here. And to end this video, I want to go down to the Grundinator. I believe is an admin for CWL and the creator of the Grundinator attack. So we have, which a lot of people confuse to be P.E.K.K.A. Smash. Not true. You can check my prior videos about why I feel that way with timestamps and date stamps. So we have Mayek doing a Grundinator attack on the Grundinator. I must admit, I also thought about doing this attack to Grundinator, almost out of a show of respect, right? Of course, come on, man, it's his attack. So I didn't see what he did in our wars. He did quite well. I'm pretty sure he did a Grundinator or two, but he augments the Grundinator attack ever so slightly. Instead of bringing two baby dragons, he brought just an extra giant and loon. But Queen Walk on the top side gets the CC lure out. She's going to keep walking around, and it becomes a closed walk. And we'll zoom in a little bit as you see it. But if you're watching this, Grundinator, I appreciate you commenting on some of the replays that had the Grundinator attack. I think it was in the tip video. And you're like, hey, I know a guy if you want someone to talk about tips. So I will take you up on that offer, man. Come, I would love to have you on the channel, interview you, maybe for a Brutally Honest, talk about your history in the game, because I know you have a long, rich one. It's also how'd you come up with this attack? I know you talked about it in the other avenues, but I'd like to interview you. So much respect out to you, buddy. I hope we can get together and make that happen. Meanwhile, going back to your base, we see the one jump, 3 rages, basically bullying and forcing your way down the gut of the base without losing all of your healers. Right now we have 3 healers up, all the air defenses are down, so he is good to go. Not fighting the clock, and we still have a BK ability left over, which basically shows you just how overpowering this attack can be, that it's over before it started, as long as you execute the opening funnel part on the right type of a base correctly. And so Mayek is one that always does this attack. I shouldn't say always, quite frequently does this attack, myself included, whenever I can stop picking up a loon, because it's hard to put those down. Really nice job, Mayek. Respect out to 6 Schlitzes. Great war. Fun war. Respect to you. Good luck to you guys in the next CWL match. And that'll do it for this recap video. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than the double. And I will check you next time.